If you don't have time to watch every episode of Breaking Bad, we've got you covered. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things to remember before watching El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. For this list, we're looking at notable plot details and themes from the original series that might play a significant part in the movie. Since we'll be discussing events from the entire series, a spoiler warning is knocking at your door.
Victor trying to cook that batch on his own? Taking liberties that weren't his to take? Maybe he flew too close to the sun?
Number 10. Jesse's imprisonment and torture. Jesse cared deeply for Andrea Castillo and her son Brock. So when Jesse finds out his meth partner Walt poisoned the young Brock, the two men have a falling out. Seeing Jesse as a liability, Walt hires Jack's white supremacist gang to kill his former partner. But instead of killing Jesse, they torture him, lock him in a cell, and force him to cook meth.
Do it! Do it!
After a failed escape attempt, he refuses to cook and begs for death. In response, gang member Todd murders Andrea.
Just so you know, this isn't personal.
Jesse remained a prisoner for months to protect Brock. He was eventually freed when Walt returned and killed most of Jack's gang. Unfortunately, Jesse's troubles aren't over yet.
Hey, remember, you're still a kid.
Number 9. Jesse dislikes violence. Back in season 2, Jesse would happily let a bug crawl on him before harming it.
You don't have to do this.
But as he was forced to commit increasingly violent acts throughout the series, it seemed like his reservations about harming others were gone. Although he murdered Todd without hesitation in the finale, there's still evidence that he still dislikes hurting others.
Then do it yourself.
After every twisted thing Walt did to him, Jesse notably doesn't harm or kill Walt when he has the chance. In the recent trailers, he lets a bug crawl on his hand like he did in season 2. These small gestures show that Jesse can still take a peaceful approach to life. Despite all the violence he's witnessed and endured, we may not see him pull a single trigger in the movie. Number 8. Mike Ehrmantraut's fate. The fearsome Mike Ehrmantraut helped Walt and Jesse get rid of any and all obstacles to their meth empire.
You are trouble. I'm sorry the kid here doesn't see it.
His partnership with the drug kingpins came to a permanent end, however, when Walt gunned him down. But a little thing like death won't stop him from appearing in El Camino. Jonathan Banks, who plays Mike, revealed to ET Canada that he'd appear in the film. Seeing as we saw Walt getting rid of Mike's body, we are not expecting a miraculous recovery.
Kid, just look out for yourself.
Mike can still appear in a flashback sequence, dream, or hallucination. Since he was relatively close to Jesse before his untimely demise, a scene between the two would make for an emotional reunion.
Guess I'll see you around.
No, don't think so. When I'm out, I'm out.
Number 7. Who could be following Jesse? In one El Camino trailer, it appears that Jesse is being hunted. It concludes when he encounters a mysterious man with a disfigured hand. While it's unclear who the mystery man is, there's a few people that could be after Jesse.
They're out there and we're gonna find him. You have my word.
Walt falsely confessed to murdering DEA agent Hank Schrader. Since Jesse is tied to Walt, law enforcement will want to bring Jesse in as revenge. The mystery man could also be working for Jack's gang. Although most of the members were gunned down by Walt, there are a few members in prison who might want revenge. Whether it's the law, criminals, or a mysterious third party, Jesse will need to keep moving to stay ahead of his numerous enemies.
No! Get off me! Get off!
Number 6. Walt's final gifts.
Kind of under the weather? Like you've got the flu? That would be the ricin I gave you. I slipped it into that stevia crap that you're always putting in your tea.
Before Walt left for his final confrontation with Jack's gang, he left 2 gifts for his family. Firstly, he forced Elliot and Gretchen Schwartz to turn $10 million of dirty money into a legal trust for Walt Jr.
This is where you get to make it right.
Secondly, Walt told Skyler where to locate his remaining drug money and the bodies of Hank and Gomez.
Rack your brain and hope you can come up with something we can use.
Walt planned that his ex-wife could leverage that information to get their family out of trouble with the law. At the same time, Walt Jr.'s illicit inheritance would ensure they could start over again. With creator Vince Gilligan promising cameos from old characters, we hope to see what the White family did with Walt's final gifts.
For any reason that my children do not get this money, a kind of countdown will begin.
Number 5. Jesse's legal standing. Although Walt and Jesse were partners for a while, they've always had a strained relationship. But it was Brock's poisoning that pushed Jesse over the edge. He originally planned to get revenge by burning down Walt's house.
He poisoned a little kid. It ain't your old boy.
However, Hank discovers Jesse and convinces him to testify against Walt for a reduced sentence. With the help of Agent Gomez, they tape a confession video and gather evidence. But it all goes to waste when Jack's gang kills Hank and Gomez and takes the video. Since the agents didn't tell anyone about the case they were building, Jesse is still seen as Walt's renegade accomplice. With Walt dead, it's unlikely Jesse can leverage a new deal with the law.
Seriously, when the going gets tough, you don't want a criminal lawyer, right? You want a criminal lawyer. Know what I'm saying?
Number 4. El Camino's meaning. Breaking Bad episode titles often carry double meanings. For example, a series of episode titles in Season 2 sneakily foreshadowed a plane crash, so it stands to reason that El Camino has multiple meanings as well.
I told you so.
The title primarily references the Chevrolet El Camino Jesse used to escape Jack's gang. We see the vehicle featured prominently in multiple trailers. The word Camino also translates to path or road. This means that the title could allude to Jesse's upcoming journey to find shelter and safety. But seeing as Aaron Paul starred on a show called The Path, and Camino translates to path, most likely explanation is that the title is a meta-reference to Paul's career. Okay, maybe that last interpretation is a bit of a stretch.
What is that? Conjecture?
Number 3. A very specific Season 3 scene. Aaron Paul told fans to prepare for the movie by looking at a certain Season 3 exchange. In the scene, Jesse is lying in the hospital after being severely beaten by Hank. When Walt visits with a business proposal, Jesse explodes.
I have never been more alone. I have nothing!
He refuses the deal, blames Walt for his misfortunes, and says he's done. Walt leaves him angry and alone. The scene is all about Jesse confronting the mistakes of his past. Paul could be reminding us that Jesse has to do the same in the movie. He could also be hinting at Jesse's isolation or preparing us for another gut-wrenching performance. Whether the tone, themes, or performances from the scene apply to the movie, we're excited to see Jesse's story continue.
About time.
Number 2. Badger and Skinny Pete will return. Where would Jesse be without Badger and Skinny Pete? Honestly, probably where he is now. While Badger and Skinny Pete may not be the brightest or most resourceful people, they've always been loyal to Jesse. Although they were helping Walt the last time we saw them, recent trailers show they'll both play vital roles in the film. One trailer depicts Skinny Pete refusing to give up any information about Jesse.
No way, I'm helping you people put Jesse Pinkman back inside a cage.
In another clip, we see him and Badger reunite with Jesse. Both men could get into some serious trouble for harboring a fugitive. The fact that they're willing to take such a huge risk proves there's at least 2 people that still care about Jesse.
We cool? We are cool.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. We could see Walt alive, briefly. After Walt is shot in the finale, he appears to succumb to his wounds in a meth lab. But could we still see him alive? An El Camino trailer showed Jesse with the same hair and clothes he had when he was imprisoned. His appearance confirms the movie picks up immediately where the series ended.
Investigators are searching for a person of interest who fled the scene.
This could give us a tiny window to see authorities trying to save a dying Walt. He could even say a few last words.
If you're watching this tape, I'm probably dead.
Although a recent trailer strongly hints that Walt never made it out of the lab, seeing him alive for a few seconds more would blow our minds. But if Walt truly did expire, we could still see him alive in a flashback.
You got me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.